Hey there, friends. I've been thinking we all have our strengths, right? I can do this, but I'm not so great at that. I'm pretty good at talking to people, but I'm not so great at adding things into a website or app. Oops. I love speaking, sharing stories, but social media, all those hashtags and algorithms, yeah, that's a jungle I haven't quite figured out yet. Coming up with ideas that bring folks together? I'm all about it. Bookkeeping, let's just say numbers, and I don't exactly get along, but that's okay because someone out there is good at those things, and when we work together, magic happens. See, Community Pay It Forward has never been about one person. It's a program built by many to support even more. Every one of us brings something special to the table. We all have talents that make us great on our own. But imagine how much stronger we are when we bring all those talents together. That's what Community Pay It Forward is all about. Your skills, my skills, our hearts, working together to make a difference. So tell me, what are you good at? Let's find out together. Visit communitypayitforward.us and join the movement.
Hello and good day to all of you, all of my friends. My name is Zach Clayton with Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PACT Podcasting Channels. Before we move forward today, talking about the Come Together Compass, let's take a moment to remember where we've been the last 2 days, what we've talked about the last 2 days. On day one, we talked about the physical pillar. We talked about meeting physical needs with dignity, clarity, and compassion. We talked about how food, clothing, transportation, and essentials can turn a crisis into a moment of stability when they are delivered with respect, without condemnation, without going at anybody, trying to make them feel worse about their situation. We talked about how no problem is truly solved until every problem of life is addressed. As we've said multiple times, and as you're going to hear a lot more, you can never truly heal until your body, mind, body, soul, physical, everything is all in one and is all moving in the same direction. And then yesterday, we stopped into the emotional pillar. We talked about the invisible storm that lives inside of every crisis. We talked about peer support, community check ins, and mental wellness resources, and the compassion driven outreach. We talked about helping people feel human again. We talked about restoring connection, encouragement, and strength. And today we move into pillar 3. So this is going to be the third pillar on just what we are working on when it comes to the community, the come together. Sorry, everything's community in my life, and then I go and throw in come together. The come together compass. So this is the pillar that turns short-term help into long-term stability. Because a crisis does not end when the bills are paid or the fridge is full. A crisis ends when a person has the tools, the support, and the confidence to stand on their own again. Pillar 3 is the stability pillar. This is where we help people rebuild the parts of their life that were shaken, broken, or completely knocked down. Recovery is difficult on its own. And when you get money in, and this is one of the reasons why I don't believe that money is the root of all stability. Say somebody donates $1,000 to you to help you out. That's great. It's fantastic. It's awesome. But that $1,000 goes real quick. So you have to make sure that it goes further than just giving money. Why does stability matter? When someone goes through a crisis, the world does not snap back into place. That when that emergency is over, think of it like a hurricane. When a hurricane goes through, just because the sun's shining, that actually means you can see the damage. The emotional storm may calm down. I didn't even realize that's where I was on this. The emotional storm may calm down, but the physical needs may be met, but the long-term damage is still there. People lose jobs. They fall behind on bills. They lose transportation, confidence, direction. They lose the sense that tomorrow can be better than today. Pillar 3 exists to rebuild that foundation. This is where we help people move from starving and surviving to living again. What Pillar 3 provides? It focuses on rebuilding stability through 4 major supports: skill building, resource navigation, life planning, community empowerment. Now, if you don't mind, give me a minute to break these down. Skill building. This is where we help people regain the abilities that the crisis took away. Sometimes that means job readiness. Sometimes that means communication skills. Sometimes it means learning how to manage time, money, or responsibility again. Crisis steals focus. It steals energy. It steals the ability to think clearly. Skill building gives all of that back. Resource navigation. Many families do not know where to start. They don't know what programs exist. They don't know who to call. They don't know what paperwork is needed. They don't know if they've got everything in the paperwork situated. They don't know what steps come first. Pillar 3 helps people understand the path in front of them. We help them find the right resources. We help them understand the requirements. We help them avoid the dead ends that keep people stuck. Then we have life planning. This is where we help people create a plan that's realistic, achievable, and personal. Not a one-size-fits-all plan, a plan that fits their life, their family, their goals, and their challenges. A plan that says, here's where you are, here's where you want to be, here's the steps we need to get there, and here is how we will walk you through while you take those steps. Community empowerment is the part that makes the come together compass different. We don't just help people get back on their feet. We help them stay there. We help them build connections. We help them build confidence. Help them build support system that lasts long after the crisis is over. Because stability is not just about money. It's about the people. It's about the community. It's about knowing you are not alone. Look, a couple examples of this would be the job loss. Okay, a single parent loses their job during a medical emergency. They fall behind on rent. They fall behind on utilities. They start applying for jobs but cannot get interviews because they do not have updated skills or working resume. Pillar 3 steps in with the resume support, interview coaching, connections to local employers, training programs, transportation assistance, childcare resources. We help them rebuild the path back to employment and stability. This is really close to what I went through, okay, in a lot of ways. I went from where I was making a decent living. It wasn't a great living. Um, if money would have been handled a little bit smarter, it would have been a much better living. It was a living that could have been very, very comfortable. But because I chose a different path and I chose a different, you know, I chose to do things differently. It wasn't that comfortable. Then I was in the accident, and all of that money that very well could have been comfortable. I could have set myself up. I could have done many things different. After my accident, all that money was gone. Every every ounce of it. There was no savings. Well, there was a little bit of a savings, but not much. Because of bad habits, because of piss poor planning. Sorry. Bills were behind. And I took in my own mind and I kept the thought in my head that, I don't like my job, but I'm good at it and I'm here. It's a stable job, so I'm going to be okay. I never thought in my head that this accident was going to happen. Who does? Well, when that was taken away and when the money that I was making every week turned into a once a month thing where you only got a quarter of what you were making, folks, that's a hit in the gut that it hurt. When you take and you get used to, when you get accustomed to living in a certain way, and then all of a sudden all that is gone, it's devastating. A family loses their only vehicle, so they're without transportation. They cannot get to work. Without work, they cannot pay bills. Without bills being paid, they risk eviction. Pillar 3 helps with transportation situations by helping to provide bus passes. It's not what everybody wants. A lot of people will think it beneath them. But is it beneath you to lose your job because you couldn't get there because your transmission went out? We'll help you try to find mechanics in the area through the Community Pay It Forward program. We'll find out if there's a place with community carpools. We've even got partners who can help you with budget planning. We help rebuild a foundation that keeps everything else functioning. Just because a car goes down doesn't mean that life has to go down. The confidence collapse. The person coming out of a long crisis feels lost. They don't know, they don't trust themselves. They don't know how to believe they can see. They don't know what or where to start with. Pillar 3 provides mentorship, goal setting, weekly check ins, small achievable steps, celebration of progress, a community that believes in them until they believe in themselves. We help people rebuild hope. A family needs help. Every program has different rules, different forms, different deadlines, requirements. They get overwhelmed and give up. And that is one of the biggest problems people have. When you go to search for problems, they're generally within the government, and files are difficult. Insurance claims are difficult to fill out. And this isn't done on accident. If you don't fill it out right, they don't pay you. They don't pay you, they don't lose any money. So we have people to try to, we're looking for people to help you out with that as well. Pillar 3 helps them to understand the system, organize documents, meet deadlines. Wouldn't it be nice to know what you needed before you went somewhere? Communicate with agencies and stay on track. We help them rebuild clarity. Pillar 3 is a bridge between a crisis and independence. It's the difference between temporary relief and living a happy life. It's the difference between surviving today and building tomorrow. When we help someone rebuild stability, we help them rebuild dignity. We help them rebuild confidence, and we help them rebuild their future. And when we come together, we guide people home. So thank you for joining me for Pillar 3 of the Come Together Compass. Tomorrow we will talk about Pillar 4, the pillar that strengthens the entire community and creates long-term change for everyone. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at Zach, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us. That's Zach, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us. And please remember, if you're not helping anyone, you're hurting everyone. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Please make sure you join us by scanning the QR code. Come and tell your story on Sunday. There's still plenty of time slots available, and we need you to sign in. Tell your story. Tell people how your wins, your losses, what you're going through, what you went through. Tell them about programs that you have available and programs that you support because they helped you. So sign in now because we need your help. Thank you very much. We will see you tomorrow.